All I am is I'm a grass grower. That's all I do. I let my cows harvest it and let them turn that grass into protein. And that's all so I'm just a grass grower. That's all I am.
All he is? No. The NFL's best offensive lineman is much more than a grass grower.
There's no laboratory experiment you can go to prove who the greatest offensive lineman is, but I will assure you that John is definitely in the conversation.
In number 73, John Hanna. The Patriots have one of the finest young guards in the game.
John Hanna was a dominant offensive lineman, and when I say dominant, he totally controlled the line of scrimmage.
Guard John Hanna is already a reliable stalwart, one of the best.
One of my favorite stories from my time at the Patriots in 1978, we played the Philadelphia Eagles in the regular season game. And the Eagles had an inside linebacker, Bill Berge, who was one of the best players of his era. And I don't even remember, we beat it might have been 24-7, something, a score like that. But the next morning, as coaches, we're sitting in watching the game film, and Chuck Fairbanks, the secretary, comes in the room and says, Coach Fairbanks, I have Bill Berge on the phone for you. And Chuck said, well, put him on the speakerphone. We're watching film. So Bill Berge's on the speakerphone, and he goes, Coach, I just had to call you and tell you, that was the worst butt kicking I ever took in my life. And of course, most of the afternoon, he's getting blocked by John Hanna.
I think we played in St. Louis. And the safety was the force guy, and John had to kick him out. Well, John hit the safety so hard, they had turf, and he bounced off the turf and he get into the play. And the coach finally had said, John, just don't knock him down, just kind of shield him a little, because the guy's making all the plays because he's bouncing off the turf.
I don't know if you remember it, Flow 36 was my favorite play we had in the book.
Flow means both backs go strong. 36 is the 3-back getting the ball and then going to the 6 hole.
Flow 36 was our off tackle play, and it would be going to the right. And we had John Hanna pulling from left guard, pulling around, and he was going to lead the ball carrier. And the whole coaching point for the ball carrier was just slow down, John's going to do the work, he'll open the hole, you just follow him.
They'd actually literally grab John's jersey, and run behind him.
I think we averaged one year a little over 6 yards per carry on Flow 36.
John Hanna was named Pro Football's outstanding lineman.
John is the second best player in the history of the Patriots. Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, that if I hadn't have played in the NFL, I would have never been able to have this. I like Alabama. I know everybody thinks about, when they think of Alabama, they think of the Beverly Hillbillies and all that stuff. And they think the worst because Hollywood depicts us as a bunch of stupid rednecks. And that's fine, we are, but it's beautiful down here. This is where I like being. My wife's all the time mad, well, let's go do this. Why, honey? Why? Well, I got everything I need right here. I got it. And, there ain't any prettier place than this. So where we gonna go see? It may be different, but ain't no prettier. And I just don't see any need for it. There's a sense of accomplishment. Both my grandparents were people of the land. My mama's family were dairy farmers. My dad grew up as a farmer. And being an athlete, I was always outside. I enjoy outside. I enjoy working with my hands. I enjoy physical labor. I get a headache when I use my brain too much because it's too little to work out. Well, basically it's a cow-calf operation, is what they call it. And I've got actually two pieces of it. On the one farm down here, I got about 62 head of Brangus cows. And then what I do is I grow my replacement heifers there and then bring them to this farm. And I got about 90 head of Brangus cows, a few half breeds and 3/4 breeds, and I breed them to a horned Hereford bull. The marbling's really good in the meat, and people like it, and there's a demand. Plus, I saw a lot of replacement heifers, and that's been a very profitable source for me. I don't feed the cows in the summertime. I feed them basically to get them to come to the corral so I can catch them. I feed them whether I need it to or not once a month just to make sure they come to the corral. I'll feed my bulls somewhere around 1 to 1.5% of their body weight a day. I feed them because I want, you want them in top health. I mean, let's face it, I got 2 bulls, and that's going to affect, those 2 bulls are going to affect 60 calves. So I want them in tip-top shape.
What do you get the most enjoyment out of?
Well, 2 things. I enjoy the calving season and seeing not losing very many calves, and then when I take them to market and I carry them and they wean out at about 650 pounds and bring a handsome price. I kind of like that too. It takes time, but it's building and I'm growing. And, good Lord willing, before Moses didn't get started, let's face it, till he was 80, right? So the way I look at it, I got 10 more years just to get started.
Please welcome home Patriot and Pro Football Hall of Famer, John Hannah.
I take a lot of pride in being a Patriot, and based on what these guys have accomplished. I don't feel like I've been a part of it. I don't take any credit for it. They did it themselves. And I would have given my left arm to play when Bob Kraft on the team. I think the world of Bob Kraft. He's done a lot for us old guys too. He has my respect. God's been good to me. He has. He's put me through some waters and tough. I've gone through the wilderness, so to speak, and I've entered the promised land. That's a good way of putting it. And this is my place. This is my. I always say when I die and I go to the new Eden, I hope God puts me in charge of the cattle. I don't want to be a leader of people. I want to be let me take care of the cows, God. I'll be happy with that.